Okay, so they want us to expand a logarithm, and that means pulling it apart, okay? So we just had the product property that we were talking about, and we're looking then at this argument in here and all the different things that it means in terms of factors or multiplication. So if you think of 30, and you were to break that down, 3 times 10, and 10 is 2 times 5. So you could say, well, 30 equals 2 times 3 times 5. You have a factor of x, and then you have a factor of 3x plus 4. Now, that is a binomial, and that's going to have to stay put because of the addition. So it won't be like, it won't split into other factors. It doesn't factor anymore. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this logarithm as log base 3, and I'm going to put in some brackets, but I'm going to write it in terms of these factors that I just found. 2 times 3 times 5, that's the 30. Then I have a factor of x, and then I have a factor of 3x plus 4. Okay, by expanding, what we're going to do is, if you remember our property says if you have log base b of two things being multiplied, then you can split that up so that each of those factors gets its own logarithm. I guess you could think of it that way. And that's useful for certain things. Okay, so for our example, how many factors do we have? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 factors. So we're going to split this up into 5 logarithms. So it's going to be log base 3 of 2. Now, you can put the parentheses or not put the parentheses. I think I'll put the parentheses just because that's what we have been doing. But a lot of times they don't put the parentheses. So notice I'm taking each of those factors and giving them all a log base 3 of that factor. They all have the same base. Okay, so there's the expansion. I kind of like the parentheses because sometimes students get confused on what that 2 is doing. That 2 is not an exponent. That is, well, it's not an exponent on 3. It's the argument of the logarithm. Okay, so it kind of distinguishes that separation. The base on all these logs was 3. That is a subscript. Okay, so we want to make sure we note that. Now, the book leaves their answer that way. I would do this a little bit different. I would simplify this part right here because that is 1. We have a property that says that, right? We have a property that says log base b of b just equals 1. So I would do that simplifying. The book didn't do that, but in the future we would want to do that. Okay.